Hi, Loren. This is Charlie. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes, very good, very good. Good evening. Okay. 各位伙伴，我们真的非常非常的开心，也
Dear
非常
partners, we're so delighted and so honored that we have as our first speaker, Ms. Loren Ridinger, Senior Executive Vice President of Market America and Shop.com. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us. Today, she's going to talk to us about You Deserve Your Very Best.
Worldwide Senior Executive Vice President Loren Ridinger is on the line with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Loren Ridinger.
Hi, guys. I hope you can hear me okay. How is everybody? Good? Clap if you can hear me. Yes, 10,000 people. Charlie, thank you so much. Anthony, thank you so much. What an amazing event. And sitting here listening to the video and seeing all of your faces because I requested, instead of me seeing myself, I wanted to see you. So I asked them to put your faces on the screen because I see enough of myself every day. I'm assuming that they're doing simultaneous translation. Is that correct? Because I'll talk a little slower. Perfect. Eileen and Beatrice and all of you beautiful people. It's so good to see you, Alice. And I see so many people and it's making me so happy. And Janice, there's Janice, to see so many people on the screen with me today, because I think that, well, it's been far too long, right? Far too long since we've had human touch, human connection. And of course, that's how we survive as humans, right? We all need human touch, human interaction. It's so critical. And I couldn't agree more with Anthony about how 2020 was. You know, COVID threw us all a ringer. You know, it's amazing because I think if it wasn't for Taiwan and Hong Kong and Singapore and Malaysia, we wouldn't have been as prepared as we were in America. And it's because of you that we have survived so well. So it's a very emotional thing being here with you guys today. You guys can cry too. Anyway, I see some of you. So it's so great to see you guys here today because, can I have a mirror? Because I missed you, right? And we missed you. Sorry, I have to do this because I don't want to have black running down my face. And this is the first time I put on my own makeup in a long time. But I'm doing it myself. So it's not as good as it usually would be. But I'm so happy, like I said, to be here with you guys. A long time. So we're going to have a great, great event. And look at you guys. You guys look so phenomenal. And, you know, it has been a challenging year, as Anthony said, a year full of fear, truly, because nobody really knew what to expect. I mean, the world wasn't as prepared as we were. That's the amazing thing. The world wasn't as prepared as we were. You see, so many people were struggling. So many people were struggling. They were losing jobs. I don't know, 60-some million people were out of jobs, unemployment. People are struggling. Businesses are struggling. I was reading an article today. I told Andrew, I was reading an article today in Forbes magazine, which you may be familiar with. It's our American Big Business magazine. And Anthony, if I'm speaking too fast, please slow me down. I'll try to catch myself because I want to make sure that everybody gets what I say. And when it's really important, I'll really slow down. But I was reading in the magazine today that, you know, companies really have to have incredible qualities in order for businesses and leaders to survive the next new normal. You see, they have to come up, they have to have resolve and resilience and reimagination and reform, all of the things that this company already has done. You see, our companies were well prepared because of your company. You see, Claire and Anthony and Kevin Buckman, you're incredible leaders, and you gave us far enough advance so we could be ahead of COVID, so we could be ahead of everybody getting sick here in our company. And we were able to actually to do the February World Conference here in America, which so many of you came to. And that was our last gathering in person. And of course, Taiwan, you did another in person, and I was so proud to be a part of that as well. But I know many of you in Singapore and Malaysia have been home like us. And that's somewhat challenging for us, right? Because we're very motivated to be outside and to be with you and to be amongst each other. So yes, Anthony's right. It has been a more than challenging year. And I only hope that I know that we're on our way up and better. Here's the thing about us though. While other companies, right, have had to go through really recovery, and when I say recovery, I'm talking about revenue. There are companies out there who are having to recover revenue because they've lost all of their sales. You see, we haven't had to deal with that. Our sales went up. Our PIN levels went up. People grew during this crisis in the world, this global pandemic in market Taiwan, market Hong Kong, market Malaysia, market Australia, market Singapore. People grew, market America. People grew PIN levels. You see, but other companies will have to worry about recovering their revenue. They'll have to worry about rebuilding their operations, rethinking their organization, and accelerating the adoption of digital solutions, all of which we already have. You see, we're already ahead of this. We're already ahead of the pandemic. And sometimes I somewhat feel embarrassed to say that we have grown so much and that people, you, our leaders have grown so much. Yet we have so much to be proud of, so much to be thankful for, so much to be happy for. And while we're still stuck in our houses, many of us, let your homes be filled with love. Let your homes be filled with growth. Let your homes be filled with excitement and joy. And use this time to spend time with your family, because as we all know too well, this world will come back to normal one day and we'll be back out in the world. And when we do, we won't have the time that we have with our families today. So be grateful for these moments. I think about Candy saying, and I think about how much that she has given so much love to this business. You see, she really lived the business. She really loved this company, Market Hong Kong. She demonstrated in every which way. She always told me like, hey, when you get here, we have to meet. She'd be the first person waiting. She was always so full of life and excitement. I'm praying for her husband and Jim to get through this tough time. I know that Jim will do a phenomenal job taking over her business. I'm so proud of what she's done. But you know, this year has been about fear. 2020 was about fear. And here's the thing about Candy. She lived. She really lived her life. You see, most people never do anything their whole life, but not Candy. Candy didn't expect to go when she did. But I got to tell you this, she had no regrets either. No regrets. She lived her life on her own terms, her own way. And I just want to tell you that she will be sorely, greatly missed by all of us, so many of us. So, you know, say a prayer for Jim and all of Candy's family, because they'll all be in our thoughts and prayers. And Candy will never forget you and your vivacious spirit. And you're here with us today. I can feel you. I know it. And, you know, I just want us all to really live life to the fullest. I want us to stop using fear as the thing that holds us back, the thing that affects where we go. You see, part of the problem is sometimes you don't believe that you have $1 million business, that you have a multi-million-dollar business, that you have $1 billion business in your hands, because you didn't have to spend that much to get it. You see, you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe in yourself. Some of you out there don't believe in yourselves. Your leaders believe in you. Beauty will believe in you. You know, Jim will believe in you. Kevin will believe in you. Desmond will believe in you. Jerry and Jane will believe in you, but you may not believe in yourselves. And here's the thing. I need you to believe in yourselves. 2020 has been a year of fear for so many people. This is the year. 2021 is the year for you to finally do something for yourself, for you to stop being afraid, because you know that you're with the right company, the right organization, one that's well-equipped and well-prepared and has the products that people want and need during a time like this, and not during a time like this. We sold so much OPC3 before COVID, and now we sell so much more. You see, you're in a position to build a multi-million-dollar business. You just didn't have to spend that much money to get it. And you have to realize that. You see, you know yourself so well, right? You know yourself so well that you won't keep commitments to yourself. Some of you will make commitments to others. You'll show up for them, but you won't show up for yourself. You're so conditioned to put yourself last that you've never come first. You've never come first. You know, where are you right now? Where are you right now with your life? Where do you want to be? What role have you played in your life to get where you are right now? Don't you want to be the starring role of your life? Don't you want to be the one who makes the decisions? Who gets to decide when and where and if you'll do something? And I got to tell you, some of these people online that I'm seeing right now, they still work, yet they live a life that most people dream about. Those people, that CLC Council, those people like Sabrina or Doreen or Beauty Chen or Janice Lynn, Beatrice or David Lynn, Johnny, they get to live a life that most people dream about, but won't ever work to do. And it's not that hard to get there. The thing is, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We have the most incredible leadership, the most incredible leaders. You see, I have 7 rules that I expect people to live by. One of them is to make peace with your past, so it won't disturb our future. The other is, what other people think of you is none of your business. It's not important. Number 3, time heals everything. Time heals everything. Give it time. Number 4, no one is in charge of your happiness but you. Number 5, don't compare your life to others and don't judge them. We have no idea what journey other people are on. Number 6, stop thinking too much about if you know the answer, if you don't know the answer, because I got to tell you this, if you don't know the answer, I say it all the time, I don't know the answer, but I'll be happy to find it out. You don't need to know everything, and that's okay. And number 7 is smile. You don't own all the problems in the world. And if you can start with that, we can start building you a great business. You see, those are the 7 cardinal rules that we have to live by in order to get where we want to be. Because we have a tendency as humans to take on everything, and that's physically impossible to do without failing. And not that failure is not part of success, it is. But we fail doing the wrong things rather than fail trying to do the right things to get us where we want to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we fail doing the wrong things that never get us where we want to be, rather than attempting to fail and failing, trying to get where we want to be. And it's okay to fail to get where you want to be. You see, some people will never accept responsibility for their failures, their mistakes. They'll never learn from them. You see, some people play the blame game. They like to blame everyone for everything that's gone wrong. I can assure you of this. If the business hasn't worked for you, it's because you haven't worked it. It's simply because you haven't worked it. If something's not working for you in life, it's because you haven't worked it. I know one thing for sure. I'm an average person. And most of us who I'm looking at right now, we're probably a lot more above average than JR and I. And look at you. Look at them. Look at those leaders you aspire to be. They're no different than you. They just put more time in it, more effort into it. And all we're asking you to do is try. Yes, I know it's been a year of fear. But you see, in order to get out of our heads, we've got to go out of our minds. In order to get out of our heads, in order to use our heads, we got to go out of our minds. What does that mean? Our heads are so cluttered with nonsense that we kind of have to start over again. We actually believe sometimes that we can't do something that we can do. And so we've conditioned ourselves for so long that we can't do something, that we can't accomplish anything, that we can't be better, that we can't be great, that we actually have to, in order to use our heads, go out of our minds. And that's what I want you to do this weekend, today with me. I want you to go out of your minds, and I want you to realize that today is a brand new start, a fresh start. 2020 is behind us. And all we have is something to look forward to. And you have much, much more than most people can ever dream of. You see, if you're new to our business or you just started, here's the great thing. Every single one of you have a mentor that you can work with. Somebody who will help you, somebody who will guide you, somebody who will show you the way. But in order to use our heads, we first have to get out of our minds and listen. You see, we tend to be terrible listeners. We tend to be terrible listeners because as humans, we just talk too much, a lot. Now, I know that's true because we have a tendency not to be great listeners when really we need to listen to what people are asking us for so we can best help them in the business. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Now, your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by choice. You see, it doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by choice. And you know why most people are afraid to do anything? Because they're so comfortable being uncomfortable that they're afraid to do anything else. You see, people who live in the comfort zone, that little box that they've created in their world, the one that brings them home, that makes them afraid to try to do anything that they've never done before, to try anything new. So they just go home back into that box that they've created for themselves. That comfort zone, right? That comfort zone that's so comfortable that it's uncomfortable. When it's truly uncomfortable. You see, people are so afraid to leave the comfort zone because it's what they're used to, but truly it's not comfortable. It's actually uncomfortable. And if they just try to achieve success, they would realize that the pain and the discomfort that they go through in the comfort zone will be much better once they leave it. Will be really much better once they leave it. And people say, well, how do I do that? It's real simple. You just got to take one step out of the box. One step out of that box that you've created for yourself, right, Olivia? That one step out of the box. You say, I'm not going to let this stop me anymore. I'm going to do what I finally am meant to do. I won't stop till I become the person I was meant to become. And the problem is that most people don't have those type of mentors in their life to keep them going. Most people surround themselves with people who bring them down. And yet in this business, we keep ourselves in the atmosphere of positive people. People like Olivia Lee, people like Beauty Chen, people like Eileen, people like Desmond and Jerry and Jane and Sabrina and David Lynn. You see, those people who keep us motivated and inspired and create belief that we're able to accomplish those things also. You see, you look at somebody like Olivia Lee and you say to yourself, how can I become what she was? How can I become what she is? And here's the funny thing. Olivia Lee said the same thing 20 years ago. And here she is today. She did it. And what about Stacy Tung? Somebody who we all aspire to be and look up to and love and worship and adore. I adore you wherever you are, Stacy. I'm sending you kisses. I love you. Here's a girl that we've all looked up to, aspire to be, has led an incredible organization and has never stopped. Regardless of the things she's had to deal with, problems she's had to handle, she is an inspiration. Yet it didn't happen for her by just a click of her fingers. She wasn't above normal. Even though she's extraordinary, she didn't have any more than you have. She has the exact same tools that you have. So did Olivia. So did Beauty Chen. So did David Lynn. So did Eileen. They all have the same things that you have. The only thing they had that you may not is endurance. passion, belief that they were going to do it regardless. Nothing was going to stop them. Nothing and no one. You see, comfort zones are dead zones. Everything in life that's good happens outside of the box. Everything in life that's good happens outside of the box. Life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by choice. So if you're searching for the one person that you think will change your life, you need to start to look in the mirror because they're staring right at you. And I got to tell you, I don't know any other organization globally that will support you and work with you as this organization will, that will mentor you, that will create growth with you, that will cheer you on. I don't know any business in the global world that will support people and cheer people on as our organization does. I am proud of who we are. Think about that. How do you feel about that? It's phenomenal. So you have to build the confidence in yourself. You can clap. That's okay. I'm with you. You can, yes. Yeah, I see many of you guys are clapping and you may not be able to see them, folks, but I see them and I feel you. I need your energy, so I'm with you. That's why I wanted to see you guys. I want to make sure you're with me. So I'm up. I want you to understand that you're not alone. They're working this with you. You see, how can you even work to build your own children's confidence if you don't work on your own? That's the thing I love about Min Lu. You know, the thing I love mostly about Min Lu, one of our top leaders in America, is that she worked so hard to demonstrate how important it was to have great work ethic that her daughter picked up right where she saw her running. Wherever Min went, she said, you know what? Instead of all the parties, instead of all the things that I should be doing, I'm going to have plenty of time for that. I want to do whatever my mom's doing. What an inspiration. Min Lu, I know you're probably out there watching us, even though you're in America. We love you and you're such an inspiration. And I see Olivia and she's been through a lot this past year. And I think about her, pray with her, love her. She's just been an incredible inspiration. And like so many of you leaders here, and yes, you can clap for Min. Absolutely. I love her too. We have incredible leadership all around the globe. It's everywhere. And you see, we are going to work to help those who have just joined us, or maybe you've been with us for some time and you've struggled. This year has been challenging for you. I get it. It's filled with fear for a lot of people, but you're in the right place, the right company, who's well-equipped, well-prepared to take steps forward and not pull backwards. You see, we're going to get exactly where you need to be. We're going to help get you there. You see, you have to have faith, though, to act on your dreams. You see, most people are worried that they don't have the talent or the skills. I got to tell you something. I never went to college, but that didn't stop me from getting exactly where I needed to be. And JR wasn't rich when I met him. You guys know the story. In fact, he didn't have any money, right, Olivia? He didn't have anything. The point is, you got to be able to work hard, put in the effort. You can't be afraid of what people say. What they think of you is none of your business. Period. End of story. Whatever you're producing is what you'll get. You got to leave fear, leave frustration, leave it all behind you. Leave 2020 in the past and bring home a new year, a new you. Have a blind date with yourself. Have a blind date with yourself. You like that one, don't you? I see you down there. You're laughing. It's true. Have a blind date with yourself. Get to know yourself. You see, people are so afraid to have a conversation with themselves because they've been disappointed, right? And these leaders who are with me right now, that some of you know that your own organization, your groups have been let down by themselves. But instead, if they just realize that they don't need to be disappointed. They just need to stand up and realize we're going to walk right with them. You see, I tell people we're going to go 100% of the way with you. All you have to do is go 100% of the way with me. I don't believe in meeting people halfway. I'm going to go 100% of the way with you, but you got to go 100% of the way with me. And that's the great thing about this business. Like I said before, you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. I don't know another organization that can say that. We need to be our best. right now. And here's the amazing thing about 2020. Some of us have gone through extraordinarily tough times. You see, we've been broken in many ways because some of us are alone. We've been alone in our homes for 9 months. It affects our mental mind. I get it. We're human. It's got to hit us all at some point. Even I want to see new, fresh faces and hug new people. I love my family. Of course I do. But at some point, you want to get crazy and start to strangle each other in your own house. I get it. JR is laughing because I've tried it a few times. And they're laughing with me, JR, of course. The thing is, I want you to understand that we're going to show you the process. If this business is new to you, or even if you've been around 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, we're going to walk through the process with you. You see, we'll do everything it takes to help you get where you need to be. We're going to do everything it takes to help you understand that fear is a worthless worry. But the only thing you can't do is use the word but with us. You see, but, what does but mean? But is an argument against something. But is an argument against something. And in this business, we're not going to use the word but. You see, we're going to use the words like I can, I will. You see, but stops us from doing most of the things that we want to do. You see, most people sleepwalk through life. And if it sounds like I'm talking slow, let me know, Anthony. I'm trying to go slow so they can translate. Am I doing okay there? Good. Most people sleepwalk through life. And then, you know, of course, people hate their jobs, yet they'll go to work every day with somebody that they don't like working for, people they don't like to be around, make themselves sick over it in order to work paycheck to paycheck. Work harder than you can imagine for someone else, but won't put in the time to work for themselves. And that confuses me. That really confuses me because I want people to put the time in so they can get something out of their own life. You see, I want people to believe in themselves. The problem is that we sometimes grow up in homes and we're taught to believe that we can't do anything we set our mind out to. We don't all have mothers like Minlu. We don't all have mothers like Min where we are encouraging their children to be something and be great. Doesn't matter that she went to one of the finest universities in the world. She decided she could do much more. Not only was she making well into the high six figures, millions of dollars, she wanted to make sure that other people did the same. And then Olivia decided she could do the same. And you see, that's what we do. We build belief in people. How do we do that? Well, Stella, right? We keep people in the atmosphere. We keep people in our atmosphere. People say, well, what is that? Well, I say our atmosphere is the greatest atmosphere in the world. Our atmosphere is one that people can always go to and feel love, feel support, feel caring, understanding, get growth, get a question answered. Nobody's going to laugh at them. Everybody's going to help them. That's what we offer as an organization. And that is why we have grown in 2020 more than 20% than in the year before. And our PIN levels have grown more this time than in the year before. That's incredible, guys. Now, I know what happens is a lot of people say, thank you, Anthony. I agree with you. That's something to be really proud of. You know, I know that sometimes people say, well, you know, I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'm waiting for the perfect time so I can make changes to my life. Well, let me tell you, folks, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time. There's no perfect day. You'll never get the clearance and not have an inbox. You'll always have something to do, Alice, right? You're always going to have something to do. Daisy knows that. Amanda knows that. Rita knows that. We're always going to have things that we have to do. And that's why I always love JR's story. When it's time to go, you can't call up your friend and say, hey, I still have things in my inbox. I haven't finished what I was meant to do. Hey, Anthony, do you mind taking my place and going up there with the good old guy? He may give you a big hug, but he's going to say, you know what? It's not my time. I'm not ready to go. Right, Eileen? Eileen's saying Anthony's not going. Can't blame him. And that's why JR says when it's time to live, Make sure you live. Make sure you do the things that'll make a difference. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There are no perfect moments. Stop saying but. Start saying I can, I will, I must. Because if you can't, you must. That's the amazing thing. If you can't, you must. You have to fight between will and skill. You have to fight between will and skill. Most people are worried about the skill. Just have the will. Just have the will to do what it takes. You see, if you're not moving mountains, you're not making progress. This pandemic opened up my eyes in ways that I never dreamed of. I thought, how do we keep, you know what it was like for JR and I and Mark and the corporate team to figure out, how do we keep our organization together? How do we keep our team close as we are? Keep in mind, folks, we're a group of people who love each other, who love to be at the events together, who love to hug and touch, right, Andrew? Yeah. That's what we do. Andrew Weissman's here with me. JR's here with me. That's what we do. And we do that because we love being with each other. So, and Olivia, it hurts us. So what did we do? We made sure to act quickly. The whole entire organization, including Claire, who's amazing, and Anthony and Kevin Buckman, and all of the corporate team and all of the leaders in all of our countries, the country managers, all came together and we did Zooms everywhere. And everybody's falling in love with Zooms. Everybody's falling in love with Zooms. It's a great way to work in between. When we go back to normal, I can't wait to hug you in person. But that shouldn't eliminate Zooms when you can't be there. For me, it's going to eliminate Zooms because I can't wait to travel and see you guys soon. Anytime somebody asks me to come back to Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, I'm going to all of them because I can't wait to get back up on a plane. I can't wait to be with you guys. You see, I want you to have that passion. I want you to understand that no one guarantees anything for you in life. The only guarantee you have is that if you wake up in the morning, the only thing that anyone's going to do for you is you. That's the only guarantee you have. You can't guarantee that tomorrow will be here. We can ask beautiful Candy upstairs about that. Tomorrow may never come. The question is, what are you going to do today? Do you want to play the starring role in your film? Do you want to do the things that are going to make a difference? Do you want to do the things that are going to take your business to the next level? Remember, things always go down before they come up. They always go down before they come up. But I need you to start doing things for yourself. I need you to start doing things for yourself. You see, if there's no enemy within you, then no enemy outside can do you any harm. What does that mean? If you can't stop yourself, if you don't stop yourself and you believe that you can do anything, then no one outside can affect you. No one outside can tell you anything. They won't stop you. See, when you make up your mind you're going to do something, you just go out and do it. Doesn't matter what they say. You don't care about what people think. You're bigger than that. You're better than them. For some people, it won't work, but that's not you. That's not you. That'll never be you. The biggest enemy that some of us have, though, inside of us is ourselves. You know what I mean? It's ourselves. And it's that you talked yourself out of things that you thought you couldn't do. And that's sad because there's nothing you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't do. The fact is you're listening to too many people. You have too much noise in the outside world talking to you, and maybe it's you. So I always say you need to learn to have positive conversations with yourself. You need to go in that mirror and have a positive conversation with yourself and remind yourself how important you are and that it's your time. It's your turn. You're not going to stay in your head. Otherwise, you're dead. You're ready to move on. You're ready to hit the big time. It's your time. 2021 is going to be your year. You know that there's no perfect time. You're not going to quit. Nothing's going to stop you. You're not waiting for the perfect moment. Here's the thing. When you finally believe in yourself and you surround yourself with people who believe in you, which is what I mean by the atmosphere, all of us, there's no way that you won't succeed. You see, when things don't work out for people in this business, is because they didn't work it. It's that simple. This business is not hard at all. Most people actually just won't try. I've learned that. Most people won't try to be successful at anything they do, actually. They'll just show up and think that's enough. Showing up's not enough, is it? We have to do. We have to teach. We have to coach. We have to demonstrate. And we have to do it with passion. And we have to do everything that we want to do because we want to do it. And that is why this business works out so well. You see, 2021 is going to be your year. You see, if you were dealing with death, then maybe you do something different. If you were dealing with death, maybe you would do something different. I always, when I talk to people, I say, well, you know what? I only have a few years left. I've gotten old and I've let my life go by. And they're, up there and they've gotten really sick and terminally ill. And there's nothing they can do anymore. Don't let that happen to you. You can guarantee one thing, this moment, right here, right now, with me. And then you can guarantee only one other thing, depend on you. I always tell people, when people come to me and say, hey, will you invest into our business? Will you look at our company? Hey, can you take a look at what we have to offer? I want to show you a great opportunity, not another opportunity, but something to invest in. I tell people, you know what? I invest in myself. I only believe in one thing. I invest in myself. Why? Because I'm the only person I can count on. I'm the only one that's going to make sure I do what I have to do. And you leaders have done the exact same thing. And those of you who are privileged to be a part of such a great organizations all across the global world with this company, you get to work with leaders who have done it from the bottom up. And yet many of you will have it easier than others because our business has grown so much over 29 years, right? So you don't have to do the things that some of us had to do in the beginning. It's a lot easier today than it was back then. But you know what? We still have fear. People still sabotage themselves. They work against themselves. They work to fill in all the gaps with all the bad things in life, bad people, drugs, alcohol, anything they can to fill their time with rather than something positive. Rather than something positive. It's just the way people are. It's just the way life can be. And that's why I always tell people, I'll never leave our atmosphere. This is my safe haven. This is my family. This is my friends. Why? Because I know that they'll always be there for me. I know that when I'm having a tough day, they'll push me on. And I know that all of these leaders will say the same thing. And you can count on them to do the same. You see, when life is no longer threatened by death, what else is there? What else is there? You see, it wasn't a matter of life or death to Candy. She didn't wait for that. She lived life till its fullest, no matter what. She was the first pioneer, the one who was in the front of the four. She was just in the front lines everywhere. Every time I come in, she'd have her people lined up or taking photos, doing whatever Candy said. And that's the way it should be. That's the way your life should be. You see, are you really afraid to do the things that you need to do daily in order to get the business to work for you? What are you afraid of? Afraid of showing the plan? Learning about our products? You have nothing to be afraid of because we have everything to offer. Our products are in great demand. Our products don't stay in stock. We have products that people want and need and love, and they can't get enough of them. They're your products. And we have people making money that they only dreamed of. People who never had anything, who've worked from the bottom up, who are making 6 figures a year. People are making millions of dollars a year. People are making $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. It doesn't matter. People are making enough money to pay their light bill, their mortgage payment. You see, it's whatever their goal desires, somebody can achieve with this organization. And I want you to understand that you are mortal, that we only have limited time on this earth. And I think that we all know that after 2020. Many of us lost loved ones. Many of us know someone who lost a loved one. Life is short, unfortunately. I always say, it stings. It really does sting. But that's why I'm so grateful for people like Olivia and Stacey Tung and all of our young, incredible leaders who keep bringing more leaders up in the world. I'd hate to leave this world and this business without seeing more leaders come ahead, giving more leaders life. Think about how important that is. See, I need you to find out what it is that you want. I need you to stop pretending that you're satisfied where you are and that everything's okay, because it's not. You wouldn't be here, some of you, if it was perfect or it was okay. See, most people go through life quietly, tiptoeing to an early grave, never getting where they want to be. Don't let that be you. I want you to understand that you are mortal. I want you to understand that you're also courageous and extraordinary and enough, and you have everything you need in order to become an Olivia Lee, a Beatrice, a David, an Amanda, a Mickey, an Amanda. You have it all. You have it all, yet you don't believe in yourself. What else matters in life but being able to live a life that you truly want to live? You see, what you resist in life will persist no matter what. What you resist will persist. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Well, let's think about it. You ever been up in an airplane? Most of us have been in a plane, right? Mm-hmm. You go up in the airplane, tell you before they take off, buckle your seatbelts, right? Mm-hmm. Pilot gets on, he says, hey, everybody, fasten your seatbelts. You may encounter some unexpected turbulence before we reach a comfortable cruising altitude. Somewhat like life. And then things smooth out. But they're not bad forever. See, I want you to think of one of the worst times in your life and how you thought you would never get over it. But here you are today, and you've overcome it. And when you go back and think about it, you did it. And it wasn't that bad after all. You see, life is funny. We think it's supposed to be easy, and it never is. Life is never easy. By the way, it doesn't matter if you're one of the leaders and you have all the money. You see, life is really hard. Life is hard sometimes. It's hard. It's just hard. And even when you have money, it's hard. But imagine life without money. It's harder. And what we want to do is help you get where you want to be. And if that's just making a school payment or a car payment, you can achieve all your goals in this business because we give you everything you possibly need in order to succeed. You see, fear is a choice. Fear is a choice. But when you understand it, you'll understand it's nothing more than a worthless worry. It has no meaning. It has zero power. It has nothing. And for those of you who may have heard this story, I'll have to hear it again. And for those of you who've never heard it, I think you'll understand it. When I was a little girl, I used to ride the bus to school. I'd get on the school bus every day, go to school. And when it was time to come home, like most children were so excited to get on that bus because they couldn't wait to get home. Not me. Not me. I was afraid to get on that bus because when I did, I knew when I got off the bus, there was a mean, ferocious dog that sat there at the school bus stop where I got off to go home, and he would scare the daylights out of me. He would chase me home all the way from the school bus to home every single time. He would chase me. He would never get me, but he would be this close. I would run home in panic, scared to death that that dog was going to get me and tear me up, bite me. He was mean, ferocious. So as soon as that bus would pull up, I'd wait for those doors to open and I'd hide my book bag thinking maybe he wouldn't see me. And I'd take off running and he'd charge at me. Thank God he missed me. But one day I decided that was it. Enough is enough. Tired of the dog. I'm tired of that dog ruining my life. I'm tired of that dog taking over me. I'm tired of being afraid of that dog. I'm tired of being afraid of that dog. What did I do? Before I got off that bus, I looked down and I picked up the biggest rock I saw on the ground. I picked up a rock so big that I saw sitting on the ground, and I picked it up and I threw that rock at that dog so it knew that it couldn't scare me anymore. And it literally went right past the dog, and I took off running. And as I turned back, I saw the dog stop to go pick up the rock. And I realized the dog had no teeth. And I realized most of our lives we're running scared from things that have no teeth. I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that makes sense to you. And I see a lot of you clapping and smiling and crying with me, and I get it and I feel you. It's what we do. It's what we're conditioned to do, but you have to uncondition yourself, because being in the comfort zone is not really comfortable. Being in the comfort zone is not really comfortable. Stop running scared from things that have no teeth. False expectations appearing real. Conditioning ourselves that we're afraid. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of fear. Don't be afraid of anything. You can't be afraid of it. You see, what are you afraid of? That you don't know how to show the plan, that somebody's going to say no to you? Let me tell you something. People will say no to you about this business. It doesn't mean no. Sometimes it can mean not now. Sometimes it can mean I don't have the money. Show me how to get it. Sometimes it can mean not this moment because I'm sick, and as soon as I get better, I want to do it. Or not this moment, I don't have the money, but instead let me show you how to earn it. We can sell some product together. Let me help you get there. Olivia and all these leaders on here will tell you that no doesn't mean no. It may just mean not now. The problem is so many people are afraid to go back and talk to the people who have said no, instead of realizing that it wasn't no after all, that they were running scared from things that didn't have teeth. Because they didn't throw it a rock and see if it was ready. You see, that's what I want you to do. I want you to say to yourself that fear is not real. And the things that may never make sense to other people will make sense to me. You see, fear is a choice that I choose not to participate in. I know that fear has no value. I know that fear will do nothing to change the set of circumstances. I was so afraid to fly for years. Many of you have heard that. Afraid to fly, even though I flew every single week, sometimes twice and 3 times a week. I was afraid to get on a plane. I'd go up to the pilot every time and I'd ask him what the flight was going to be like, interrogate him. I'd tell him how afraid I was. And then I'd sit down in the whole flight and I'd grip the chairs, being afraid, prepared for the worst, not realizing that when I think that way, the worst would always come. Instead, I decided to get on those planes day after day, week after week, month after month, until I learned to love flying. And I never let it stop me from where I needed to go. You see, you can't be afraid to do the things that you need to do in order to succeed. You have to understand you can do this business. You have to follow the blueprint for success that we give you. And you've got to have faith. You have to say to yourself, I want to know what my life can look like. I want to know what my life can look like. I deserve to become the person I've always designed to be. I was always designed to be. But most people are afraid to do that. Most people are afraid, but not you. You're a warrior. Not you. You're a warrior. You're going to make time for you. You're not going to back down from anything. You're going to make time to fight. You're going to grow in 2021. You're going to inspire others in 2021. You're going to control your life. You're going to say who, what, and when, and it's going to feel really good. You're going to stay in that atmosphere, and you want to help other people get there. What business in the world do you know that other people love to help other people make money? This is the only business I know where you don't have to tear other people down in order to get to the top. Everybody has the same opportunity. Beatrice Lynn, David Lynn, Jerry and Jane, all of those incredible leaders have been there for so long. And here's the incredible thing. They brought thousands of people with them. They brought thousands of people with them. Nikki knows that, Olivia knows that, Amanda knows that, Rita knows that. You see, when you bring thousands of people with you, nothing can stop you. As I said, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You see, you cannot worry about how dark the night gets, how dark things are, how tough things are, how you're afraid of things right now. The darker the night, the brighter the day. You have to wake up. You have to embrace your fears. Failure is necessary. Fear is not necessary. You have to eliminate it. You have to be fearful that you may never make it. Fearful that you're never going to do it. The time's going to run out. God, I hope when, you guys look around the room and you say to yourself, many of you may not even know Candy. But if you look at her life and what she's did over all these years, who wouldn't aspire to be just like her? She did what she wanted when she wanted to. Not only did she make millions of dollars, she helped others get there too. That's the great thing about our business. Listen, stuff goes wrong. Things go wrong. But you have to destroy obstacles. You have to do what's necessary. You have to persist. You have to keep going. Nothing can stop you. You see, failure is not an option for you. Doing the productive things in the business and what's necessary in the business is all about investing in yourselves, guys. You have to do the thing that's necessary to invest in yourselves. The worst thing someone can say is no big deal. You can't be afraid to speak to people. You have to embrace it. You have to work yourself up for nothing. And then you overcome this fear and you're like, wow, it wasn't even that hard after all. See, I want you to commit yourself to 2021 that you're going to write down your top 5 fears about the business, and you're going to commit to yourself right here and now, right here with me, that you're going to work to overcome them, because you have no reason to be afraid. You have every reason to smile, every reason to believe. Yes, Mickey, they have every reason to believe. They have everything in the world going for them. You cannot be afraid to do what you were meant to do. Now is your time. When the good Lord calls you like he called Candy, let it be where you chose life over living death. Over living death. Most people go through their whole life living when they're really dying, that they haven't done anything with their life. That's what happens. What people think of you is none of your business. Who cares what they say? It doesn't matter. Here's what matters. What matters is what's in your heart. What matters is what's in your head. What matters is how bad you want it. You see, people will come and go, but the ones that leave imprints in our heart are all that matter. I know people have stayed in our business for 29 years just because they love being around the people. Just because they love being around the people. And I always say, thank God. Thank God. Because there are so many incredible people in this business, right, Stella? There's so many people who say, thank God for Market Taiwan, Market America, Market Australia, Market Singapore, Taiwan, Market Hong Kong, Market Malaysia. So many people have grown in a way that they never dreamed of. It's not just about making money. It's also about growth internally. It's also about helping others. It's also about overcoming your fears and doing things that you never dreamed of. I can guarantee you can talk to anyone in this organization and they'll tell you that they've done something that they were afraid to do and it wasn't that hard after they finally did it. That's the truth. And so we're going to do it with you. You see, it doesn't matter what your friends think. Your friends may say, well, why don't you go out with us anymore? Please let me know. Am I at time? I'm probably way over time, right? I need to come to a conclusion. Okay, Anthony, you can just tell me, do I have like 5 minutes left? I'll have to speed it up, whatever I have. Is that okay? Okay. What I want you to say is, don't worry about what your friends think. Don't worry about keeping up with your friends. Because you know what? They won't do what you'll do. They won't do what you do. When somebody tells you it's impossible, you can tell them it's impossible for some, but it's not impossible for me. What's impossible for some is not impossible for you. You see, you don't make decisions that way. You know that you get stuff done. And when you don't like where you are, you're going to work harder to get there. You know that you will rise. People will come and go, and it doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're true to yourself. All that matters is that you'll commit to growth and to improving who you are. See, for 2021, I'm not a big believer in resolutions because I set goals all year. I set goals all year. I'm always committing myself to new goals. Most of us are who are successful, and I see a lot of the leaders here agreeing with me. I don't have to write down a lot of resolutions. My big resolutions are that I'm going to grow to be a better person. That I'm going to grow to be a better person, have more patience, which I lack sometimes even more so in COVID times, right? Because we're all in the same space. I don't care how big or small your house is, we're all in the same space. So we get tired of seeing people. So I pray for patience. I'm working on my patience. I want to write down the things that make me feel not confident and work on those things, the things that I'm fearful of. We're going to work on those together. We're going to grow. We're going to make 2021 a year that we overcome those things. We're going to push ourselves past our limits. You're going to put your best foot forward today and every day and fight every day. Nothing beats character or hard work, guys. I already know what giving up feels like. I want to know what it feels like to be what I've always dreamed of being. I don't need to know what it feels like to give up. I already know. I want to know what it feels like to be what I've always been meant to be. You see, I'm going to get up earlier and I'll stay up later, and I know I can do this. You know, you can do this. You're going to get it done. Excuses are not invited here. We don't use the word but. And if you believe anything is possible, then guess what? Everything is possible. Every single thing is possible, and I will no longer accept anything less than I deserve. 2021 is going to be my year. I'm going to take epic action. I will be fearless. The world belongs to me. The world deserves to know who I am. That's how I want you to speak to yourself every day. That's the commitment I want you to do for yourself. You deserve to talk to yourself that way. You need to stop saying, oh, nobody believes in me. Everybody tells me I won't be able to do it. No, I want you to quit making excuses, putting it off, complaining about it, whining about it, crying about it, believing you can't, worrying if you can, waiting until you're older, skinnier, richer, wiser, or all around better. I want you to suck it up, hold on tight, say a prayer, and do it with me. Let's make a plan and go for it. Let's make 2021 our year. Let's make it the best year ever. Let's do what's never been done. Let's take more people to new limits. Let's do more for people than we've ever done before. Let's do more for ourselves. Let's let go of fear. Let's let more love in our homes, more growth in our homes. I wish you nothing but more health, more love, more growth this year. You know I love you. I miss you. I can't wait till we're together. I can't wait to hug you. I can't wait to see you in person. I miss you. I will be back if they let us come back in 2021. I'm yours. Nothing will stop us. There's no reason why we can't prove to the rest of the world how great we all are. This is your year. Be the best you can be. Make 2021 everything you've always dreamed about. I love you so much. I wish you nothing but the best. Please stay healthy. Give love. Be kind to others. Make this your year. Reach out if you need help. We're here for you. Everybody knows my email is lauren@shop.com. I've never hidden it from anyone. I'm here to help you. I'm here for you. I'm always with you, and I'll be here rooting you on. I love you guys. God bless you. Stay strong and healthy.